Maple is one of computer algebra systems, and like Mathematica or MATLAB, and we are going to use this one to do certain cryptography, cryptanalysis in our course. And we cannot cover the whole features of Maple, and it's not necessary, but we need certain things in there. So in this chapter, we are going to cover the basics of Maple to handle our programs. The first thing is we need a command line, and whenever you want to produce command line from text, so right now this is text part, and if you hit enter, then it just only carry over to the next line, right? And it's still text, so when you type it, it's text. So from text line, if you want to make a new command line for any calculation whatsoever, there are three different ways to make this command line. The first one is hit a Control J in your keyboard. Second one, which is my favorite, is just to click this button, will produce this command line. From command line, if you hit enter, then it goes to the next command line. It skips all this text. Right? One more time. If you hit enter, then it goes to the next command line like that, right? So how can you make or go to the text line after that, right? So that is one way you can do that is like this. Click next line, which is text, or if there is no such thing, then from here click this one, text, then it makes new text line after this command line. So that's explanation here. So these are my two favorite buttons to make command line or text line. One minor thing here, in our Maple program, you can find all this command line comes with red and boldface one, which is actually not natural because that is actually text font within command line. So whenever we make command line by pushing these buttons or any other method, actually it's assigned to math font. So when you typed it, it's actually italic font, right? So it's okay and it's good, but if you really want the exactly same way, then click text within the command line. Then when you start typing it, you're gonna get this red font. Just tiny little things here. Semicolon, colon is very important. If it's a semicolon, when you hit it, it produces and shows the result. But if it's a colon and hit enter, it looks like it doesn't do anything, but actually it calculates everything and keep that information within the system, but it's only not showing that one, that as an outcome to us, right? So if you want to see the results, please put the semicolon at the end of your all the commands and calculation. Okay, opening closing section. This is section notes. So if you just click this triangle, then you can open or close any section like that. And just read this whole thing. Oh, and whenever we have outputs, it could be one or it could be more than one outputs in your file. If you want to remove only one of them, like, oh, I don't need it or I don't want to show it, then just select like this and hit delete key in keyboard. Then you can hide that part only. But after you calculate, if you don't need any outputs like this, then go to edit, remove output from worksheet. Then it will reduce all the outcomes all together within this worksheet. Okay, saving, fighting, cutting and paste, usual way, and use this help system to get another help in there. Okay, the last one in this file is like this. If you have same commands line like that and this one, the only difference is this one comes within one command line somehow, but that's separate ones, right? So in this case, whenever you hit it, the results, it only calculate within that command line, right? So you are going to get individual results. When you hit it, it goes to the next command line group, right? Okay, so when you hit at this moment, then it's going to go to the next line. And you don't need to place your cursor at the end of command line. It could be any place in that work group, and just hit enter. Still you got the same results, and your cursor moved to the front of this command line group. So if you hit again, you're going to get the results for that. But if all this information within one command group like this, and no matter where your cursor is, if you just hit enter, you're going to get all three results at once. So that's the difference between and this, right? So in the middle of making your own file, maple file, let's say A is 1, and right now I didn't change to text, so you're going to see this way. Okay? But if you click semicolon, and B is 4 semicolon, and C is 7 semicolon, and hit enter, which means what? Doesn't matter whether you carry over the line to make each of this line or in one line, eventually you're gonna get same results like this. So no big deal for that. But key point is, how can you change the line, right? So A equals 1 semicolon, and if you hit enter, then it will produce the next command line, and actually it shows the results of that first command, right? So how can you make that kind of style, right? Without any calculation, we just carry over one line and they stay at the same work group, right? So A equals 1 semicolon or colon, and click shift enter, not just enter, shift enter, then it carry over the one line. So in there you can type in the next command, and once again shift enter, C is 4 whatever, and if you just click enter only, then it will produce this kind of results.